Hey, g'day, guys. Ladies and gents, I should say. It's Josh here from Sydney, Australia. Hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. It's Sunday evening here. I've just been catching up. I've been doing a bit of work this weekend, and I've just been sitting back looking at my schedule for the week, organising things. And I've just sat through and watched while I was working today. I was in my shed. I was listening to a couple of YouTubes. I've caught up with a couple that the corporals put out. Not too many because I just can't watch too many. But I did take note of this one here, and that's what I've started this in. It's Kangaroo Boy, Get a Life, Try Defending Elvis, Do Some Elvis Content, Loser. So I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. I should have a listen, right? I should see if there's anything good that he's got to say or anything meaningful. So it's him going for a walk with his new hat that someone gave him with that badge on it. Someone went and bought for him. In fact, I think the guy who bought it is a guy who comments regularly on our channel. So I should say thank you. I think his name's Jeff. Um, so I wanted to, because there's a couple of things that I've seen lately, and I just want to clear up some things that I've noticed that he's saying. I didn't watch, I've listened with the headphones on, 3 videos, and I heard him say things that need to be cleared up because they're just exaggerations and untrue. Um, and then I hope you got a coffee or something because I want to do a little bit of talking. I won't. I've got a number of things to show you. I've just taken a few screenshots of things that I've seen, pretty much just to prove a point. And of course, you make your own mind up. The corporal here lives in a vacuum, and when you live in a vacuum and you only hear your people talking to you in your language, then it's really hard to learn anything. There's no personal growth, right? And life coach corporal here really doesn't seem to understand that. That's why he blocks everyone on his channel who has an alternate opinion. So if you have an alternate, and on his chat, you can say something quite benign, but if it's not in line with what he wants, we just block you, right? That's what he does. Hence why I would imagine a lot of his subscribers like the idea of coming over and commenting on this channel. In fact, he puts out Google posts and asks them to do it because he thinks it harasses me, or he thinks it's like he thinks they're like guard members that can go and do his bidding. And I'll just remind everybody, Hitler was a corporal, right? And if you actually, there's a lot of similarities. I'm not saying he's as bad as Hitler. I don't know whether he likes Jewish people or not, but there is a lot of similarities in the way that this guy operates with his subscriber base. You know, everything is about the team. The attacks are on the team. Um, so what he's trying to do there is build a big collective. Come on, we're a team. We can fight this off together. We can ward this off. I'm going to take all the hits, but I know I've got you behind me, and so it's quite the style of his the way that he talks to his group is all around him feeling secure and testing how far he can go with what he wants to achieve. It's actually quite sad, but it all revolves around he has not got enough to do. His wife needs to keep him busier at home, and she's going to realize that one day. One day she's going to go, "What is it you do? What do you do?" Because I don't think it's much. I think she's the one who does all the work. So I don't know. All right. So let's start. The first thing I wanted to address is this is the channel. He's going on about I've got 2 strikes. You've got 2 strikes, Kangaroo Boy. Well, we've got 1 strike. Yes, 2 videos have been removed because he put copyright strikes in, which is an absolute joke, and he knows that they're not going to last. In fact, YouTube, I've actually put 2 what's called counter notifications in. They've gone back to YouTube, approved by YouTube, and sent to him. He's now got 10 business days to launch legal action against me here in Australia, or they get reinstated. So I don't know what you want to say about that there, Corporal, but you really need to think a bit more about what you say and what you do, because you can keep doing these copyright strikes and eventually YouTube's going to cotton on that you're abusing their copyright system. So, and also I welcome you to try and sue me. So, you hear it here first. You say I'm cocky. Yeah, look, maybe I was. After 7 or 8 days, you told all of your supporters that within 6 hours, my cat channel I'd have multiple strikes and my videos would be removed. Yeah, okay. It took 100 and something hours. It took 7 days or something. And you did get 2 removed, but you got them removed through abusing the copyright system. You know full well that those videos, by doing what I did, is fair use. And YouTube agree, and that's why they've forwarded it to you and have given you 10 days to prove that you're going to take me for legal action. So buckle in. I know you're a millionaire. You don't know what resources I've got on me. Maybe start looking into an international lawyer and seeing if you've got a case. Because when you go through all of your videos and how you operate, I'm operating the same way back at you. So I'll leave that one with you. Look, he also likes to have a dig at the subscribers, right? This is just Josh in Sydney. He's just started the channel. And all of this started because of his blatant exaggerations and lies. That's why I got sick of it. And I blocked his channel, and then people would send me little snippets of things. And then, I would find myself looking at it again. When I say blocked, you can hide everything that comes from his channel using the 3 dot system. And then I'd get drawn into something. And then because I've said this before, but I never bought into from the start with the YouTube videos, the Donna. I didn't really know her. And then when I started seeing the videos, because I know that she wasn't around. And that you're going to all say, well, how do you know that? And all these subscribers are going to say it. Because I've got a pretty good feeling of all the information I've read. And I went through all of my digital collection and typed her name in, and she doesn't come up once. Correction, she came up once in a Donna Lewis diary, Vol 3, and it was to do with the Circle G move, and it was her dad referencing her name. That's it. And then I heard the video about, she's never been to the Manthian with Elvis. She never went to Vegas. She never saw him in concert. She never went to, I've forgotten the name of the amusement park that he used to go to, that the Stanley kids went to, that Ginger's niece went to, that heaps of people went to. She never went. She was never there. She lived in a trailer, potentially with her mum and dad, who are, who are family of Elvis. No issue. I know that Donna is Elvis's cousin. I know that. So that's it. I don't need to be told 100 million times. I know that she is. I just do not believe she was around Elvis with anything meaningful. I believe Patsy Presley. I believe Edie Hand. So that's it. So her statement about there's no point wasting time on people who are not going to believe it, she's right. There's no point wasting time with me because I don't believe it. And you're welcome to believe whatever you want. Believe whatever you want. I don't care. Write it in the comments. No issue here from me. Okay, so I cleared up that's what this one's all about. So I just put here, just to show you guys that this is what I see. Your video was removed due to a copyright request. You submitted a counter notification. While the video stays removed, the strike's been released from your channel. So I only have 1 strike. So if there's 2 more coming, and he's been saying it for days, that's fine. Bring him. Actually, here you go. Let me just go up here and make sure he realizes. Corporal, here's a screenshot from a public video that you've put out. So by your logic, I've broken the copyright law. So you better get to and do it. And they'll take this video down in about 7 days after they evaluate it. And then I'll counter it and then they'll reinstate it. So we'll just play this game because you've got all the time in the world to play games. So let's go on to the next. I want to show this to you. Now, this is so now I'm back on the Donna thing, right? And her story. Now, we've heard her say, I feel bad, I didn't reach out to Lisa for 30 years, 40 years, I don't know, long time after Elvis died, right? I want you to have a listen to Edie Hand talk. And I'm just going to give me a second. Let me just work out which tab I've got this on. It's at the 38-minute mark of this video. Now, just to fill in the picture, this here, his name's Blackwood of the Blackwood band. Edie is on this show and she's talking with this guy and they're just talking about Elvis and they're exposing some of the lies around Elvis. This is not what she primarily does, but she is a media personality.
While everyone was gathered there in the living room. And then just sorry.
Wow.
Just as the Lord would have it, when Lisa died, we got a call. And they wanted to know if we were available to sing for her funeral. And I told somebody, I said, this just kind of feels like it's come full circle.
Billy, that was such I'd just been with her too, just a few days before that, because it was Elvis's birthday, and I got this impulse like you when you just feel things. And I don't normally drive up there and hang out. You know that. I mean, I love my family heritage, but I don't go to everything but I felt it's snowing, but I'm going to drive up there and see her.
Wow.
I'm going to tell her how much I love her. So sorry she's hurting. And I walked up and I said, Jack, do you think it'd be okay if I go over? He said, well, Edie, of course. Yeah, just go over there and stand right there. She'll see you. And so she did. And she walked over and she said, tell me again what it was like when you babysat me and we drove around. And I did. And she just hugged me and said, that's the sweetest thing. I love to remember those. And then she had all these flowers around her and she's telling them, go put those on Ben's grave. And she said, I'm just so heartbroken. And I shared, I said, well, I watched my mother give up 3 young sons at 19, 23, and 46. And I understand great loss too but I said, no one knows another's heart.
Yeah.
Totally. And I'm glad she and I had those moments, and we had hoped to do something good with Elvis's foundation for My Women of True Grit to help women that need to feel loved and prayed with. And, but we don't know, Bill. We have to seize moments. I'm glad I seized that moment, and I'm glad.
So I just want to show you that because basically why I wanted to show it to you is because to me, that's an authentic story being told by a cousin of Elvis who reached out to Lisa, and Lisa acknowledged it and recognized that what she did for her when she babysat her. I mean, and it's just a genuine, to me, that's an authentic, genuine story, and I love that story. And I only saw it earlier today, and I thought that's lovely. Now, we'll just flick down here. I want to show you something. So, who is this woman? Now, we know that she co-authored Precious Memories with Donna. And we know that because she is on the book title, on the book cover. But we also know that because in the story that is online that I've been through with you guys all before, and I've actually included further down, she's been quoted a number of times verifying what Donna was involved in with Buddy that has never been acknowledged. And what fans at the time who didn't have a great deal of money, fans who were ripped off, who got their story published, how many of them didn't get their story published and put on the internet? So have a look at these two. They're 75 and 74, similar age. Born in 50, born in 51. Edie's relationship is through her Elvis's grandmother, Minnie Mae Hood. So that's the connection. Now, this is all from a deep dive AI reported to have never lived at Graceland but visited, often staying overnight, visited Elvis's private upstairs dressing room. She attended Elvis concerts at the Ellis Auditorium. Elvis gifted her a necklace and earrings one Christmas. And now she works as a media personality. She gives back to the community as the founder of the Edie Hand Foundation. And she's written other books as well. And I just think I had a look at this. I went and had a look. I had a bit of a read of it, and it looks like a very worthwhile endeavor. This woman appears to be very religious, gives back to her community, and understands, understands that understand that she didn't attach her life to Elvis. Now, on top of that, you can also see her in the box. She's in a couple of Elvis documentaries. So whoever was the director or the organizer got her to talk in these documentaries. She just seems to have led a life of, I've seen nothing about her discrediting Elvis. She just seems to be a loving person. I mean, I think that's what she comes across to me. Anyway, doesn't matter. And then you get Donna. So we've got all the details that we already know. I think she's talking up her summers at Graceland. I think for a period when Elvis was Elvis he bought that property, spent a lot of money on it, did a lot of work. Now, if I watched a Spa Guy video quite a while ago about the Circle G, he went right into it. And if he's correct, he went into it actually with the family. It was the person's son who sold it to Elvis. Now, if this is correct, and I don't want to, make him angry with me by misquoting him because I can't actually remember, but I thought he said Elvis spent less than 30 days at the Circle G. He spent less than 30 nights sleeping there because he had to go and do the next movie, and he lost interest later in the year with it. And he ended up sending back a couple of his bodyguards because it was right around when he got married, right? He ended up sending back because things changed, the dynamic changed within the group. And where he was, I think he was at Palm Springs or his other home, but he ended up sending them back home, and then they needed a job. So he actually said, well, go look after that property, be the foreman of my property. So what else have we got here? So Donna has made a career out of attending Elvis events, cruises, national and international Elvis fan functions, and of course, all the things that we see online. And now she tells us, married to a drug-addicted, violent person. I don't know this full story. I can't remember, but basically, and it was all him, and he would take all their money. So somehow, Buddy and Donna went broke about this. Now, the corporal subscribers all got in a tizzy about this. I actually did a Google post, which I'm going to let me bring up. Let me just find where I put it. Here I did. I put it here. So I did this the other day because what happened was a couple of you subscribers, or well, I don't know if you're subscribers or not, but a couple of people messaged me and said, "Hey, thank you so much. What you've said about this is true. I know that Donna, that this is the story. It's practically it's correct." And apparently, people, and I've been an Elvis fan for a lot of years, but I'm here in Australia. I don't know all the stories, right? I've never been to Graceland. I've never been to an Elvis week. Anyway, so people came back to me with these things and started sending me photos and all that sort of stuff, and told me the story about this book. Now, I just put a thing here because there's a guy who runs Rare Elvis Photos who has been talking about how do I get DNA to help this lady Desiree. Now, personally, I don't believe the Desiree story. In fact, I don't think it's true. But He does believe it. Anyway, he wanted to try and prove, and a lot of his subscriber base want to prove that it's true or not. And it was like, how do we get the DNA? So when I saw this and I read the stories, it all ties into me. It seems like that's very logical to me that that's what happened, especially when you get first-hand people telling me that they went to an Elvis event and bought it off Donna, the book, and this was what was in the book, and they have a signature of Donna. In fact, signed Donna Early, not Donna Presley. So anyway, that's another story, I suppose. So anyway, I cited this, and it was more of a tongue-in-cheek, right? More of a tongue-in-cheek, and it's not 5,000 locks; it's 5,000 strands, because each of these had one single strand of hair. Now, straight away, I just don't know whether I should do this or not, but I know the corporal does it. He likes to call people out. You know what? There's a post in here that I really want to read, but I don't want to show everybody else's posts. But you know what? All of you can go to it. It's public. Yeah, bugger it. So what I want to show you is this fella here, chillin'. Now, he actually seems like a pretty good researcher, to be honest. He's been back to me a couple of times with some things. So have a look at what he's put here when he looked into this. And now, I have never heard, you would think that the corporal would consider, is this true? With an open mind, right? Is this true? Because, he's been a spokesperson. He's got this relationship. Is it true? And one of his followers who runs his own channel came out and said, oh, this is a comedy channel. It says 2004. The book came out in 1997. That's the extent of what I'm seeing here, which is really silly. Anyway, and the reason it's silly is because the book had 17,000 copies and they couldn't sell it. They couldn't get rid of the copies. And if you read the articles online, they're all dated 2003. And in fact, it even adds weight to the article that we read online, because there's a lady saying she was helping him sell books out of a convention, and that was 2003, which ties in with the date here. So anyway, going further down, I just want to show here, and I won't go through and read it, but I would say to you guys, read it yourself, because he's gone and got, now these are AI answers. AI is everything now, isn't it? But if we know anything about the language learning module of an AI simulator, basically what it does is it goes and searches multiple sources and combines them based on the prompt that you give it. So I'm gonna make an assumption that this user has gone and given it a prompt with some specificity to make the most acute search that you can get. But I don't know. However, all of the information is directly related to the topic. And if you go and read this, it's fascinating because it pulls out all of the correct information. Homer Gilliland was a hairdresser who collected Elvis's hair, the guy who authenticated it, and Donna Presley provided the family, marketing, and provenance. So now you might go, well, you've just said it's AI, blah, blah, blah. So now what I'm going to show you is if I flick back over to here and I flick back over to here, if you zoom in to here, it says officially licensed by Donna Presley. So that's what she did. She gave it provenance. So her period of working at Graceland from when the year Vernon died in 79, she worked through to 82 when it turned into a museum. She's the figure of prominence inside Graceland. And if you want to go and have a look online, she has been doing this for a long time and been doing it for all sorts of things through those troubled years where she got into trouble. So you will find cushions, you'll find a hairbrush, you'll find all these things, a vase that have been sold, and she's the authenticity for it. So question. I mean, I question that. Now, the other thing is here. This here is the authenticity. I can actually increase this so you can all read it. And this tells us that this is actually a strand of hair of Elvis. So let that sink in. To sell her books, Donna there was nothing she wouldn't do to sell them. She's got some arrangement going where she provides the officially licensed on the packaging with Donna Presley back in 2003, when her name's not Donna Presley back in 2003, it's Donna Presley early. She flicks between names between the years to what suits her. And this is a genuine guy who used to style Elvis's hair, and he would collect Elvis's hair. And the hair was examined and authenticated by this guy. So, yeah, people have still got this. Now, the word, reading that article that Chillen has produced, or that AI input, they're saying this is worth around 200 or can be even more, $275 online can sell for. So, but I'm not so sure if I mean, it might have sold for that at different times, but I'm not so sure, to be honest with you, that is true. Only because I've seen this for sale on Facebook for like $100, and it's got this with it, and it's signed by Donna, as in the book's got her signature in it. Anyway, now I left these blank because I was going to put the vases, the hairbrush, all the other stuff Donna's been authenticating, I gather, for a price over the years. Anyway. Now, what I've done here, this is the story. I want to take us back, and I know we've been through it before, and I'm not going to read it all. I just want to, what I've done is I've made it onto a black background. I've taken all the information, cut, paste, and I've just made it so it's easy to read. So any of you looking at this video can pause, because the other one's not easy to read because it's the way they've done it. It's a HTML document. They did it way back in 2003. It's centered. It's not simple to read, and the font's not very good. I've taken it out, cleaned it up. It's got a bit of a space between it now. You can read it. But, you read this story, and it makes it, there are little tidbits of info in it that you can relate to now. Things that are being said now. Things that are being talked about. So this has never been discussed in the public by Donna, other than to say it was Buddy, wasn't me. He was doing all this stuff, when it clearly doesn't say that. So I'm just going to keep flicking through. I'm not going to, you can pause the video later. I just thought I'd, give it a little bit of time to pause it. Because I am going to show you one particular area, though, that I want to remind everybody of. So we'll keep going down. All important information to keep in the back of your mind. Right down to, what Donna has said to people. Now, this is, if I refresh you, it's about a lady who was ripped off with a lot of money. She didn't have the money. Her sons begged her not to give the money to Buddy and Donna, but she was taken in by their, the fact that Donna got up on stage and talked about Elvis building a church for her mum, and this lady wore a diamond zirconias, really flashy clothes and a flashy hat or something, and something else. Anyway, this lady was so swept up in the stardust of Elvis that she gave it to Donna, and they were charismatic with her, and so she thought they were great. And so we're talking 2003 here. They invited her to Memphis. So bottom line is she got ripped off the 4,000, right? So she's all upset about it. She's spoken to some other people in her fan groups, because that's how they all communicated. They've told her to go to the Better Business Bureau. She's got an attorney. She spent money she didn't have on getting a letter sent to Buddy and Donna to get her money back. It fell on deaf ears. And then someone says, you should speak to Edie. And I forget how that actually happened. They had a sweet, endearing personality, blah, 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 blah. After we called the police department, the fam wanted to make a joint call to Edie Hand. She had read about Edie in the 7-page report her friend got off the internet. So I don't know where that report is now. I've looked for it, unless it's that other document that was in pages in a different format. So Edie Hand is listed in the Birmingham phone book and easy to reach. So this is important because this goes to talk about Edie, who she is, and these are reportedly Edie's words. Edie's been reading her Bible in bed, preparing to give a speech in the morning to a women's group. Surprise, she still does that now. And back then, she didn't have this, I don't think she would have had this foundation group, 2003, because I've looked into it and I think it was formed a lot later than that. I'll have to go back and check. Okay, yet she gave unselfishly of her time and listened intently as the fan poured out her story of being swindled by Edie's cousin, full of sympathy and compassion for her. And that's the person I see now. I see a woman who has compassion for others. We knew the basic outline of Edie's story even before we called her. She had co-authored the book Elvis Precious Memories with her cousin Donna. Half of it basically a reprint of Aunt Nash's book, One Flower While I Live. Donna denies that. Donna and Buddy usurped the books and cheated her cousin Edie out of her half of the book profits. They took all the books and sold them themselves and kept the money. That's what they did. But we were unprepared to hear Edie say in a soft, sad voice, I had a written contract. They cheated me out of $20,000 cash when I was a single mother. If I work out that money, $20,000 in 2003 to now, I haven't put that through a inflation calculator, but I'm going to say it's double, if not more. So it could be 50 grand in today's money. That was all I had. I found the publisher, Cumberland, and I've checked the book. Yep, publisher is Cumberland. They never paid them. I found the investor. I brought in Michael Stevens. Yep, Michael Stevens was the guy who was the investor. It says it in that article, that researched article on the ElvisPresleyNews.com website, and he's listed as the one that got the judgment against them for the $29,000. I did the research and wrote the notes, did most of the manuscript. For 2 years, I was devastated. It destroyed me. I could not believe my cousin, who I loved, could do that to me. Finally, I had no choice but just to walk away from it. I had to forgive her so it wouldn't destroy me. But I have nothing to do with them now. Donna's sister Susie knows all about it. Well, Susie's passed on now. She was there. She knows everything. Asked why Susie proclaims her sister's honesty. Edie offered it's a self-protection, but she definitely knows. Well, you would protect your sister, wouldn't you? Edie described how Donna and Buddy, it says built, but I'm assuming that is milked, unless that's a US term, built, a series of investors by taking money from them and promising to pay them one half the book sales until their money was returned to them with interest. They never paid any of them, nor gave any of them any books. It was a ruse, pure and simple. Not much different from the way they took the fans' money, claiming it was used to buy an Elvis memorabilia collection that would likewise earn their money back with interest. Now, that's not Edie talking, so it's not quoting. This is the person who wrote this article. Here is Edie quoted. There's only one person who could help. If he would, Edie said, Uncle Earl, he hates Buddy. He knows what happened. He could help you if he would, but he's old now and probably not well, so I don't know. So I'll just leave it at that. It's just there's too much not known about, and I cannot believe that Donna can think that Elvis fans are so stupid as to read this but blindly follow her. And the people who are following her channel and buying into those videos that she does with the I am Presley or whatever it is at the end of it, that is a joke. I find that just offensive. So, they're going to call this a Donna bashing video, the other group, and that's fine. Whatever you want. My annoyance comes from the fact that I've raised this now for several times, and it's been, instead of being open-minded and going, well, what is the story here? Because that's what you would expect someone who runs a YouTube channel who claims to defend Elvis. Why is it okay for this to be out there on the this story and not be answered, but it's okay to do video after video on the Smiths, to demand an apology, to call the book disgraceful, to just harass them for the last 18 months? How does that compute? How does one cousin have impunity and the other cousins don't? Makes no sense to me. All right, so I'm going to keep going down. Now this is this kangaroo boy Elvis, and I could show his video, but to be honest with you, I think it might be quicker. I took out the parts that he said just through the transcript. I think this might be a better way to do it. But I want to show you, if you are watching this video and maybe you think I'm bullying him, that I don't like him, but I have professed, and I've been perfectly transparent. I don't like what the corporal stands for. That's why I recommended him busted from captain down to corporal, and he's heading south. It's not going to there couldn't be. There's not too much more can go here, and I need to have a chat to that Miss Sams. She has no idea about the rank structure, I think, because otherwise she would not have made him a captain, because he is no captain. So he does this video and declares that I'm the bully and he's defending himself. And when in reality, yeah, I am raising things because he doesn't run a good channel. He doesn't run a channel of fairness. He doesn't run a channel of telling the truth, of transparency. You know, I heard him say only a couple of days ago that he calls names to these two people who it suits him to do that to. He thinks it's funny to do that. I don't know why he does it, because it's obvious who he's talking about. Maybe he thinks it's going to get him in trouble or something. I don't know if he says their name, because probably maybe it would if he's slandering them. So maybe that's why he does it. But we all know who he's talking about. He said that they put in a copyright issue against him, and that he wrote to the YouTube legal department and it got turned around straight away. Absolute lies. Absolute lies. And I'm going to tell you this because I've been through it. And I've been through the counter process, and I have read it. And I read things before I look at things. I made a mistake with the conservatorship. I put my hand up and I apologise publicly because I made it. And that was an authentic apology, and I don't care what the other group says, because that is true. I wouldn't want anything put out about me that was untrue. And I thought, I've said something not right, I'm going to address it. So, the system is, he's put copyright strikes in on me. 2 of them have hit my desk. Both of them, I put in a counterclaim, because I said they are not copyright. He said the entire video was copyright. It is not. He's abusing the copyright system, and I wrote that back. First time I did it, YouTube rejected it and said, it's probably AI driven, right? But they came back and said, we're not sure, because the only thing that they will accept in a counterclaim is that it is mistakenly being deleted. There was one other thing with it, mistakenly or inadvertently deleted. I think that was it. So I put mistakenly, because it's the only option I've got. Now, in that counterclaim, you don't sit there and go, hey, the corporal, he does this every other day. He check his channel, check his videos. He grabs a video, he stops it, starts it, talks about it, tells people he has to do this because otherwise he has to stick with fair use rules. That's not the mechanism. They don't care. And they make you go through this 10-minute course on copyright. And they say to you, as far as this is a legal process, and they say to you that legally, they don't get involved at all. All they will do is they will see if my reasoning meets that mistaken, deleted, or not, then what they do, they just forward the counterclaim to the corporal and say, you've got 10 days to do a submission back to us or provide us proof that you're initiating legal action for a copyright claim. That's it. That's it. And he's now got 10 days. He's on notice. And they removed the strike from and I expect they're going to remove the other strike. So I'll have no strikes. So, however, they won't reinstate the video until the 10 days is up. So he's got 10 days. In fact, he's got 8 at the moment. Business days. Actually 10, because business days. So he's got to go and see an international lawyer, and he's got to work out how he's going to, if he's going to do it, go through with it. Or those videos will be reinstated, and he'll be, I don't know. Well, he won't, because he'll spin it. He'll spin it to his subscriber base. I heard him, I think he started spinning it the other day, but I'm not 100%. Someone said to him, apparently in his group, you should leave those videos up, Corporal, so that all the comments that people have put in, you can prove all the nasty things in the comments. I mean, and so I heard him say, yeah, so maybe I should let them stay up. Follow through, do what it said you're going to do. Wipe my channel, take the videos, do what you want. Let's go. Put your counterclaims in. Let's go. You want to initiate a copyright process, a legal copyright process? Let's go. Do it. Because it's not. It's fair use. I only took parts of your video and I commented on what you commented on. So it's fair use. Anyway, so I just grabbed out of this video Kangaroo Boy, Elvis, this stupid title. Anyway, so here he is. Kangaroo Boy's got 2 strikes, and I told you he would. No one listen to me. Remember, if ever I say someone's getting strikes, I mean it. I only do strikes if they break copyright infringement rules. So let's remember what he has done in the past. Sally Hodell put a copyright strike on him, and what did he do? He put out a Google post and begged her, please take it off. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to do it. I like you. I totally changed his tune after attacking her in videos, and then begs her not to do anything. And then Sparko does the same thing. And then tells his subscriber base while he's saying, this is what's happened. I could lose my channel. I've got 2 strikes. YouTube is setting conditions on me. I don't understand it. I wouldn't put strikes on people. I wouldn't do it. And now, because that's what's come up, well, how come you said you wouldn't do it? Now it's your primary defense mechanism. So he says, I only do strikes if it breaches copyright. You've got to follow the rules. Please. Yeah, I'm not even going to. So here we go. Now he's justifying going through, because what he's doing, guys, is he's going to the videos. I mean, I've only got 2 videos up, right? I mean, but you guys are commenting fiercely. I mean, one of my videos, the Corporal McCready is no longer the spokesperson for Donna, I called it. It's got 500 odd comments on it. So if there's 20 of you, because that's what he says, there are 20 people, you've all written about 50 comments each. No, correction, 25 comments each to make 500. Anyway, if there's 20 people insulting you in hundreds of comments on a YouTube channel that was created to bully you, you're going to, and they get given 2 strikes, you're going to gloat. Oh, this is because someone said to him on his channel, you shouldn't gloat, which actually he didn't say. He clarified it. This guy's, I've seen him comment, he's one of the sheep. So you're going to gloat. You're going to gloat. Yeah, you're going to rub it in their face because that's the way we've been treated. It's absolutely disgusting. Remember, it's not just me being treated like this. It's Donna and Team Elvis. Here we go. He's going to reignite. He's going to ignite his team against everybody. His team of 20 or whatever it is. Team Elvis is thousands of people. Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, this is an attempt to mute us, to degrade, to downgrade us, to demean us, to take away our dignity. This is why, you think about what I'm talking about when I say Hitler was a corporal, right? This is how he incited the crowd. You ever watch those old historic shows, those History Channel shows? To take away our dignity, everything. We had the most horrific things said about me, my group, and Donna Presley. as I was saying, guys, yeah, we're peaceful, but they pushed. Yeah, we never remember. We didn't ask them to start a channel, did we? We didn't go, oh, I got an idea. Let's start a channel and pick on Louis, Donna Presley, and Team Elvis. Let's start an Elvis channel and do Zed and do not do Elvis content. I don't know. Could be the AI, the way it's captured it. We never did that. I'd rather you didn't start a channel to bully me and my group and Donna Presley. Oh, you'd rather that. So he'd rather that we didn't put all the information about Donna in one place so that people can look at it and sort of follow through and make their own minds up. No, I'd rather that didn't happen, but you chose to. You obviously noticed me. Well, 4 videos a day, killing everyone with quantity over quality. I know there's quite a lot of trolls watching me. You're not happy, are you? Because Louis winning again. It's horrible. And I know I'm preaching to the converted because I've seen all of you comment. You're all aware of it. I would be embarrassed to be a member. And that's the other thing I want to say too. So he's talking about memberships. You pay $1 a month, right? And if you can actually look at the lives that go on when you look at it later when he does his videos, and you can see there are people buying these memberships and they hand them out to people. So like they're $1 a month, and I'm guessing you pay the month. So people are donating things to him, and they're donating memberships. So I heard him talking earlier, and he says, I've gone from 90 last week to 130 today. I literally watched 20 or 30 get handed out to people who didn't ask for them on his channel. I'm not joking. That's what he did. I don't know if he did it. I don't know whether I don't know whether he did, because I think it's just a sycophant on the channel, but who buys the memberships and hands them out to everybody to make the memberships look bigger and to make Louis happier because he's selling more memberships. I don't know. It's just nuts. When are you trolls going to realize that Louis should not be underestimated? And then the rest of it here I just put here because, I could have kept going. I did a few. I did 2 or 3 more. So we start this channel. I could never have dreamed that I was going to grow a family. I had become a very private person. The reason I'd become, and I guess that means I have become a very private person. The reason I've become a private person is because I'd spent my whole life in the public. I was a DJ. I was running discos, bars, nightclubs. So I went from one extreme to the other. I went from being very popular, very well known, even famous in my hometown, in my home, in my area. I'd even been on TV quite a few times. Honestly, I'm going away from this now. I would not be surprised to know that he'd been on those shows like Love Island and, those reality shows they do for people to go and do. Big Brother. I bet you he's put in an audition for Big Brother. There you go. I bet you he has. Because he just loves himself. He loves the camera. And it's just this whole thing. Do you reckon Louis ever, or the corporal ever, he's become a very private person? How do you become a very private person doing 4 videos a day, telling us about your wife, your kids? You're telling us everything from his kid, his older boy that he used to get frustrated because all he does is sit in there and play on his PlayStation. Now he goes, it was a bit of agitating to me, so now I just let him go and sit on his PlayStation all day. And all the other things that he says, and he had a go about, I said something about his, in that video about the last video I did a while ago, 5 Febs. Oh, it's not a while ago, it's 3 days ago. I said about his mate Nick, because I said about, and I used it as an example, right, where if you are around someone and someone offers you a lot of money to talk about your family, like, and I'm talking about the Smiths, right? I'm talking about not just the Smiths. I'm talking about the 3 people, Marty Lacker, Lamar Fike. They were obviously commissioned. What's her name? Lana Nash was commissioned by a publisher to write a book with the three of them in her style, and they obviously trusted that she'd come up with something meaningful of doing it. And they've put all this information in a book, right? They've obviously decided it's going to be their swan song almost, because I think it really probably was. It was done a bit late in the piece, and it really was one of the last books they contributed to. I mean, Marty did Portrait of a Friend, and he did one other, and Lamar contributed to maybe he contributed one or another. I'm not sure if he contributed more than that, but certainly they were involved in documentaries, The King's Men, whatever. And I'm not going to go into defending all of that, but I'm just going to say that he had to go because I said, how do you know, your friend Nick, that someone's offered you a lot of money and you get to tell your truth, tell your good relationship, tell your nice stories, because, you know, that guy, if he, not that he ever would have been, but if he was ever like Elvis, this is the unique thing that he needs to realize, and I think you guys get, or a lot of you are going to get. Elvis was a world superstar. I don't think there was a entertainer on his level. I don't think there still is an entertainer on his level. So what I mean by that is there would have been, and there was, large amounts of money thrown around because the public interest in Elvis is phenomenal. Yeah, Elvis was a phenomenon. He was a 20th century phenomenon in many ways. And people, it's just human nature. We all want to know about the guy. And people want to know everything. And we're still doing it today. So why would it be so wrong if you know that there's such public interest in your relative and in your friends, your friend who you worked for, and you know the unique position you were in, and you want to tell the story, you want to tell them what he was really like, you want to be transparent, then that's up to you, that's up to the individual. There is nothing wrong with it, nothing. And I just don't see this channel's perspective on this whole issue. And I would go so far as to say that I would like to know if how many of the subscribers to this channel have been to the Billy and Joe Q&A. I'd love to see something honest in that group and go, how many of you been to the Q&A? How many of you have read the Memphis Mafia book? How many of you read Elvis What Happened? Because I honestly think if most of these people went face to face and met these people that were Elvis insiders, they would change their tune. But because they're fueled by this rhetoric that the corporal puts out with this focus on team and shield and the language that he uses, he fuels them and they're silly enough to fall for it. So they're silly enough to fall for it. So anyway, talked enough on that. I'm not even going to go into that junk. It's whatever. What else is there here? Anything else fascinating? Oh, more about the Kangaroo Channel. Talking about how many kids I've got. So what? You do it every day. How disgusting are they? They even brought up that I have a sixth son. I don't even know what he's talking about there. I do have a sixth son. And I named him after my twin brother. Okay. And apparently his twin brother has got a son named Louis as well. And I'm very close to him. His name's Andre. I named him. Oh, yeah. Doesn't that tell you something? These kangaroo haters, these trolls. Where's he get that from? I don't hate kangaroos. I think what I'll do is I'll post a picture on my front verge because I've got kangaroos on my front verge. Like some days I wake up and there's kangaroos. They shit all over my lawn. These bullies, these very nasty, mean people, little mean spiders that group together, whatever. Channel, we're even talking about how many kids I've got. So what? This is just so stupid when he says it. If you want to keep that quiet, then don't say it. If you don't want people talking about Aurora making dolphin noises, don't show her on your channel doing that. If you want to, I mean, I don't care. It's all in fun. Who cares? But the reality is, if you don't want this private information that you've got talked about, then don't say it. People are talking about you. And I'm going to say this to the team Elvis. So I'm talking to you. I don't think much of this is on you. Much of the stuff you're getting talked about and uh, the the dialogue that goes on and the Donna Presley, it's not all of you subscribers. If you guys want to give this guy memberships, pay him, buy him coffees, send him shirts and books and whatever else, fill your boots. You can do whatever you want. Who really cares? I don't care. But you are enablers. You're all enabling because you're all sitting there with your popcorn because you're caught up in his charisma and you're caught up in his absolute theatrics. And it's just a TV show. He's just a TV show. So and he's making money off you by you watching him, you know. And there's nothing educational in there about Elvis. There's nothing. He doesn't read. There's nothing educational. I mean, all it is what am I going to say? It's all highlight newsreel stuff. You know, there's no meaningful discussion. You know, I can have a chat with a bunch of people in the other Elvis groups, and I too, some of the dialogue some days I can sit there. I used to be able to. I haven't done it for a long time, but I could sit there for an hour or two just chatting to people who have knowledge and who have reasonable they can articulate themselves properly, and I can be in a message thing, and it's fantastic, really enjoyable. People have read the books. They have a better understanding. They're more open minded. They're able to you know, even if it disagrees with theirs, take someone else's opinion. That ain't this group. Anyway, next one. Oh, it's having a go at me here. So seriously, Kangaroo Boy, go and have a look at the comments in your channel. Well, I do, because I comment to them. You've helped 20 bullies. I don't think so. I've helped a heap of people who are disenchanted with your channel. So thank you. Thank you to the corporal for being such an ass and sending everyone over to this channel. I appreciate it. We're going to have a great time. There's going to be good dialogue. And half of your people who comment are actually over on my channel commenting. None of the ones on my channel are over on yours because you blocked them all because they've got a different opinion to you. You've given them a meeting place, Judas. Some of them are Judas. Then they literally have explored every avenue of hate, whether it's my kids, my wife, how many kids I've got, how I live, the fact I'm retired, how I dress. Oh, shit, you've talked about. Well, you do dress strange. Sorry. I mean, come on. Gorp, you do dress strange. How I look. They try to say that I don't defend Elvis, which is just hilarious. Well, the whole thing's hilarious. They attacked Donna Presley. Well, we present the information about Donna Presley that she won't address. A lot of this would go away if she addressed it. You know, that's what big celebrities do when they, you know, they stuff up. They'll do a mea culpa and they'll say, hey. And a lot of times they turn it around. Has anyone seen that show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? That show is designed for celebrities who just aren't going anywhere with their careers or who you know, they've been involved in some sort of scandal or something or other. They can come out and show their human side and present their argument as to what happened. And a lot of them, it's a chance to rebuild their careers. And I can tell you in Australia, many have done it because people feel some sympathy to them and they go, well, it was a mistake you made. But you're not doing it now. I mean, if you do it again, well, that's on you. But so they give him a second chance. How do you give Donna a second chance when she's never owned up to the first and denies and diverts and deflects to that everything's buddy when it's clearly not? Anyway, I've got something else. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to come back. I want to show something else and I'm going to finish. Hey, g'day guys, I'm back. So I just want to show something here that I was sent that I didn't see at the time. And this is the sort of person that the corporal is. He's deleted it now. Deleted it because I believe there were a number of people who saw it. Just let me. I'm trying to try and work this if we can.
Stupid Amy.
Stupid Amy!
Yeah, there we are, Matt. You should have read it first.
Stupid Amy!
Every single thing.
Have a look at this.
Stupid Amy!
All right. Every single thing.
It's stupid
All right.
Amy!
Right, let me speak. Every single thing that was.
So, guys, I wanted to show that little video that someone sent me in a chat group. I mean, to me, that is so irresponsible. How old is that young fella? That is it Tino is his young one. He's saying "stupid Amy" and doing that continually down the camera. This guy, this is a life coach. This is someone who apparently is a life coach, and this is the way he acts, and sends this out on a video, on a public video. And I'd be interested to know if his wife saw it or his family. I mean, does everybody enable this guy? Because, I mean, I don't know about all of the people here that might be watching this video, but can you imagine doing that with your child? Can you imagine having your child in the front seat of a car in the rain, traveling, and you're so focused on the channel, and you've got a camera, you've got your phone up where the rear view camera is, I assume, or he's got a thing, I don't know what he's got up there, but you're talking like that in front of a child, and then the child is doing it too. I mean, what are you teaching the child? So I'm going to finish with that. That's because that's how insane I think this guy is and how irresponsible. And I just find it hard to believe that the subscribers who pay for memberships and who watch this guy are egging him on, are enabling him. What on earth did Amy do? So she got into a private chat with some other people that he got access to, and she has had weeks of his carry on like that. She's had weeks of it now. Now, she's a pretty strong person. She's pretty resilient. And if you think, Corporal, that this is not my work, that none of what I'm presenting to you is my work, you are very wrong. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And you don't know that, and it is not true. And I think it's hilarious that you keep having a go. Well, I say hilarious because it's not. It's actually disgusting. But I think it's hilarious that you... Oh, take that away. I think it's very poor behavior that you continually lambast a woman over a carriage service, which is what you're doing, harassing her over a carriage service. And not just her, there's another woman, Lorraine, is it? And there's a heap of them. Is it Elaine as well? And I've not seen any comments by Amy on my channel, so I don't think she's on my channel. But I have seen comments by others of what you're doing. And it's deplorable. It's misogynistic behavior. Grow up. Be a man. If you're not going to provide for your family and you want to be a house husband, then be a house husband. But don't sit there and abuse females, because you're upset that they went away and formed a group and had a chat and their opinions didn't align with yours. Good night, everybody. It's been good presenting this information to you. I look forward to seeing any information or anything you want to provide in the comments. It's open to the corporate subscribers or anybody else who wants to add some value to the channel. Good night.